When Cihan went to pick up Alya, he had only one question. What did that man say to you? Alya told Cihan about her conversation with Demir. He wants me to marry you. Would you want to marry a woman like me? Cihan listened to Alya patiently, and even though he knew all about Demir's plan, he replied, Yes, I want to marry you. Your style doesn't align with such betrayal. No one could stop Cihan as he unleashed all his anger on Demir. While Alya tended to Cihan's injured hand, she justified all her actions for the sake of her son and revealed that Demir had visited her while she was in prison. After leaving Alya and Deniz at Ner's house, Cihan received a message from Mine that said, I told you I would die for you. Remember me. After reading the message, Cihan immediately went to Mine's house and found her unconscious. She had attempted suicide. The message made Cihan recall his previous marriage. He rushed Mine to the hospital and told her there that he would need to marry Alya. Meanwhile, Sadakat Albora's men took little Deniz to the mansion on her orders. A desperate Alya, who went to the mansion to retrieve her son, went berserk upon learning that Sadakat Albora wouldn't let her in. Cihan's arrival wasn't enough to calm Alya, who drove her car through the gates of the mansion. Seeing her son despite Sadakat Albora's obstacles, Alya told Deniz she would go to Canada and return after handling her business. To convince her son, she told one lie after another and even challenged Cihan. As long as my heart beats, I won't forgive you. Don't think I'm defeated. One day, I will take my son away from all of you. Cihan sent Alya back to Ner's house with his men. Despite their family's objections, Kaya did not give up on Zerrin and was eventually caught by Sahin. Demir, seeking leverage over Cihan, visited Ekmal in prison. However, despite his efforts, he couldn't get the information he wanted. Ner dropped Alya off at home and went to the mansion to question her brother about his insistence on marrying Alya. Instead of answering, Cihan showed her Boran's video. Taking advantage of Ner's absence, Alya devised a new escape plan. Despite Cihan and his men's efforts, the young woman managed to flee to Istanbul. Sadakat, worried about protecting her children and her land, also visited Ekmal in prison. The meeting revealed their youthful love, kept secret for years. Sadakat confronted Ekmal first and then Fidan and Sahin, whom she encountered outside the prison. Sahin, whose meeting with his father ended poorly, met with Cihan and Kaya. There, he emphasized, "We are brothers and will not harm each other." Cihan replied, "The three of us will protect Albora." Cihan followed Alya to Istanbul, keeping a close watch on her. By the end of the day, he took her to a hotel where she would spend the night. Upon learning about Cihan's trip, Sadakat furiously called her son, demanding he return to Mardin. Unable to bear the longing for her son, Alya tried to contact him, but once again faced Sadakat Albora's interference. Unable to speak to her son, Alya went to the hotel bar to drink. Cihan went to get Alya from the bar. She had drunk too much and could barely walk, so Cihan had to carry her to her hotel room. The next morning, Alya found Cihan at her door. Despite claiming she would stay in Istanbul, a phone call forced her to return to Mardin. Little Deniz was sick. While visiting Sada's grave, Demir encountered Sadakat at the cemetery and remarked, "This woman will do what Sada couldn't. She will bring that mansion down on your head." Demir's comment sparked fear in Sadakat. Upon arriving in Mardin, Alya spent the night by her son's side and made a life-changing decision after overhearing a conversation between Sadakat and Cihan. She heard Sadakat tell Cihan that she wouldn't allow their marriage. Determined, Alya declared, "I've decided to stay here. I won't go to prison or leave Mardin. I will live in this mansion with my son." Talking to Cihan, Alya accepted his marriage proposal but listed her conditions. While Cihan agreed to everything, their conversation was interrupted by the sound of gunfire. The person who shot Alya was Sadakat Albora.